There we go. Okay, it's live now. Yay! Yes. Howdy, everybody. um, yeah. Just something I do want to make note of. I put that in the video description, but I'll repeat it again. When my next video premieres, which should be Sunday evening, there's going to be a minute or so early on that's going to be muted out. YouTube did that. And basically what happened is whatever record company or whoever owns the rights to Every Grain of Sand by Bob Dylan is really picky about that. As in, they didn't want to let me show the video at all unless I muted it. And so, what choice do I really have? So, okay. And then the next song that's in there is it's by Engelbert Humperdinck. And what's funny is every time I say that name or I think of it, I have to correct myself because I was so used to calling one of our ducks Engelbert Humperdinck.
And by the way, Engelbert Humperdinck is an actual pop music star.
Yeah, I know, from
Google
the 60s
it,
or something?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and the song is A Man Without Love. Now, whoever owns the rights to that song is a lot cooler about it. They're like, okay, well, you can't monetize the video. And I'm like, fine.
Because they know getting somebody to listen to anything by a man named Engelbert Humperdinck is a joy and a trick within itself.
I guess. Well, like I said.
I'm sorry. I hear Humperdinck and immediately my mind goes to Princess Bride.
Of course. It's where all of our minds go.
Well, except for mine, again, because Tenchi, my lovely Drake, he was a sweetheart, but he got very frisky in the springtime, and so we nicknamed him Engelbert Humperdinck. And
yeah,
that's our joke. So that's what I think of. But either way, whoever owns the rights to that is a lot cooler about it, and so you'll be able to hear that. But like I said, the copyright holder for Bob Dylan is like rather ardent about it. Let's put it that way.
Yes, and I would also like to add a disclaimer that the camera adds 10 pounds, and we had 3 of them running, so no judgment.
Darren, you were fine. But you know what? I can say this: if you go on Patreon, you can watch it without any muting.
Right.
Because I put it there. I don't put it for Patreon videos. I use Vimeo, which they don't give me any crap about that stuff. And so if you go through Patreon, you'll be able to watch it with no editing. So it's a perk.
It's the best $5 a month you'll ever spend.
And actually, the cool thing is, even if you the $1 become a patron, when it goes public, you'll be able to see it. So, and again, you'll get the extra perk if you could see it without anything muted. So, just plug
it's
at the
beginning.
It's
a great deal, people.
Yeah. So, how is everyone's week?
Well, I'm not Chris Rock, so I'm good.
I thought that was last week.
Don't matter.
And so, yeah, and we're waiting to watch the second episode of Moon Knight until Morgan comes back over, because he wanted to watch it with us. And I'm not going to do any more reaction videos, huh?
We watched it.
Okay, well, don't spoil anything. We're going to watch them. Basically, the new episodes drop on Wednesdays. We'll probably be watching them on Mondays, and I'll wait and save my further reactions for the end of the season.
Okay. By the way, the only spoiler I want to put in this thing is there is a superhero in the movie. I mean, in the show.
Well, and this is something you could probably find out just surfing around online. But apparently, Khonsu is the deity behind his powers, and I don't know what he's. I think they gave some teasers for what he looks like in the first episode, but tonight we're honoring Khonsu as we know him. Nothing to do with superpowers. So if anybody starts doing crazy stuff in their dreams afterwards, that's not from us. So.
Nice segue. Wow.
Yeah.
You'd have thought she wrote that. She didn't.
Actually, right. Okay. If I could please get a prayer. My mental health is starting to slip, and it feels like a slide. All right. Well, definitely. And you know what? I think Khonsu, can will probably give us a hand with that. So, on that note, you go ahead and. Yeah, some folks have
water be cool.
Oh well. First, some folks have a chauffeur. We have a Mexican Coke bottle. I'm going to turn this down just a hair. So, you're going to see my fingers across the camera for a sec. There we go. Now, these cool waters are upon my hands, and they purify me. This technique purifies me. Hail unto you, Nexater. Unto you. Without evil. Purities upon our hands, our purities within our hearts. We cast out all evil that pertains to us. We are pure. We are pure. We are pure. We are pure.
That's their story, and they're sticking to it.
Yes. And just think, next week it will be pre-taped, but you will be able to see everything that was not on the web camera.
Oh.
I'm warning you ahead of time so you can get dressed.
I was going to say I'm dressing nice. Which means I'll have on socks. No, I'm joking, of course.
You're just too modest for shorts and a t-shirt on camera.
That's right.
Okay. Oh goodness. It has ups and downs of uncertainty. Hi, Oracle. Oh, and Serrano would like a prayer for safe delivery. Maybe going into labor soon. Absolutely.
Wow! Yay!
Yeah.
Definitely to wear it.
So. Yeah. Now, that's one thing. Because Oscar Isaac said it Tawiret. I think he was giving it a little bit of a British pronunciation. Of course, I have to caveat that and say we don't know with 100% certainty how the ancient Egyptians said it, but my guess is Tawiret.
Yes, I always thought everybody's name would actually end up being Bubba, but that's just me.
Well, you know what? If that's the case, then let us. Since she was also mentioned, this will be the deities behind episode 1 of Moon Knight. Because I have Tawiret here, and so we'll just.
There's this lady standing in front of the camera. Oh, never mind.
Oh, hush. I'm going to bring her, and she can join Khonsu on our dais. Not to be confused with Jabba on the dais.
No, but if you listen very closely, Khonsu will start asking for peanut butter and pickles.
Oh. Okay, Tawiret, because she's the one she's the pregnant hippo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tawiret will start asking for
peanut butter and pickles. All right, well, there we go. So we will ask Tawiret to join us and to look over our friend Sarana, who's
due any moment.
Yeah.
Yay. Congrats.
Yeah, so.
Blessings and love to both of you. All of you.
And we think that another by name of Tawiret from the Old Kingdom would have been Apip. And there's a month named Apip or Ipi. And that was probably a festival for hers. But that's going to be in the month of June. So, in the meantime, Come in peace, bright eye of Horus. Come in peace. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
The eye of Horus shines like Ra in the twin horizons, and evil hides in fear of it. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
Receive the light.
The eye of Horus destroys the enemies of Ra and all of their abodes, till none remain. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
Receive the light.
The eye of Horus comes to the four corners of the world, to everyone who is tuning in now and who will be joining us later. This eye of Horus comes. And we are purified with it. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
Receive the light.
All right. I noticed in the comments there was somebody who was a little scared at some point when they were listening and they heard a sistrum. Anytime you'll hear it kind of jingle a little bit as I go to pick it up. So just know at that point, I'm about to ring it. You arise in the Akitu Festival, O Ra, spreading your light upon the earth. You set in peace in the mountains of Manu as a tomb, bringing your light to Duat. Shine upon earth as you do in heaven and Duat. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who came from noon at the first time, for such is your uniqueness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Hu at your left side, for such are the words you commanded. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Sia at your right side, for such is your great wisdom. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, whose Hika goes before you, for such is your ability. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who rules with Ma'at upon your brow, for such is your righteousness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra. Hail and praise unto you, O Khonsu, O Tauret, O Yenichiru, you lords of love and lords of life. Grant us life, well-being, and health. May our eyes perceive your goodness, and our hearts receive your wisdom. May you shine upon us as you traverse the sky, that we may bring to you Ma'at and cast out Disfet. And may you guard us from the evil one through the dark hours of the night, your protection being before us and your strength being within us. Okay, now that was me just shifting the book. Take these, the cool waters, which are the inundation, that they may cool your hearts. Oh, Yenichiru, these waters are the eye of Horus, that your hearts may be refreshed. Milk, milk, may you taste it in your shrine. May your hearts be refreshed with it. We bring you this milk from the great flood, O Yenichiru, that you may be purified with it. We give you incense. We give you incense great purity. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Please don't fall over in the middle of service, Darren. This incense's fragrance is the eye of Horus, and it comes to you, it cleanses you, it adorns you. It takes its place upon your hands. This incense is the eye of Horus. Its fragrance comes to you. And you know what? Here we go. Take this, your bread on which gods live. This bread is the eye of Horus, so you know what you do. Lift it to your faces and be at peace with it. Whole box of date cookies. The gardens prosper, and Hapi rejoices, overflowing with his meal. We fill the eye of Horus for you with wine, O Ra, O Khonsu, O Taweret. Drink and be pure. The doors of heaven and the doors of earth are open with libations for you within this house. May your faces be refreshed with your libations, your wine, and your water. Here we go. Pure, pure is Ra Horeketi within his house. Pure, pure is Khonsu within his house, and Taweret within her house. Pure are the Kas of all of these gods, with this good myrrh that is given. Jehuti proclaims it. It is written in his house of sacred words. Hapi gives in abundance, thousands of offerings, all things good and pure. For Ra Horeketi, for Khonsu, for Taweret, in every place that their immortal Kas dwell. Come to your body, O Ra Horeketi. Come to your body, O Khonsu, O Taweret. Come to your bodies, O Yunachuru. Come to your invocation. Come unto us, your servants, who are mindful of your feasts and your offerings. Bring your power, your hika, your honor, and your ba to these, your offerings, and partake of them. Come, O people. Raise these offerings before the faces of these gods. Lift the offerings before Ra, before Khonsu, before Taweret. All life comes from them. All health comes from them. All stability comes from them. All good fortune comes from them, as it has since the first time. And now, Ora Horeketi and your son, the Oser Nisune Keperura. Your foes retreat from you. Horus turns himself to his eye. Turn yourselves to these, your offerings, and receive them from our hands. Is that myrrh getting to you? Okay. From the gods to the blessed dead, we offer them this candle, that it may be the eye of Horus that lights their way in Duat. And we bring them these cool waters from the table of Osiris, that their hearts may be refreshed. And I know we had someone who lost a grandmother last week, and I'm just getting the sense that there's some folks thinking about their loved ones, and so we include them. So we ring the bell and say our voice offering prayer. Ta henket kakao abdu sunachurmahat kudnebet nofret wabet onkhet naturim and kawan akupunibu macherenibu hirnachura. A voice offering of bread and beer, thousand of beef and fowl, incense, oils, and all good and pure things on which a god lives, for the cause of all of these Aku, all true of voice before the great god. And now we come unto you, O Ra, as Jehuti comes, our hands joined under Ma'at. Ma'at has come to be with you in every place where you are. An offering of Ma'at is made unto you, that your heart may be pleased and your cause shall live. Truly your need has Ma'at, for they know you live in her. The Ennead says unto you, your word is law eternally. Ispet is cast out by your word. Rejoicing is yours every day. Ma'at has taken her place in your shrine. And may we always act with gentility and compassion, for such as the first Ma'at. May we always offer charity and hospitality, for such as the second Ma'at. May we always respect consent and fidelity, for such as the third Ma'at. May we always avoid violence and promote wellness, for such as the fourth Ma'at. May we always speak words of truth, for such as the fifth Ma'at. May we always protect the public good, for such as the sixth Ma'at. May we always act humbly and with temperance, for such as the seventh Ma'at. May we always honor our gods and respect others, for such as the eighth Ma'at. May we uphold Ma'at like Jehuti, that we may witness Ra's perfection every day. Okay, let me peek over here. Oh, wow. Okay. You know, it's funny because I saw Sarcastic says, can I have a prayer request for an old friend of the family who passed away this week? And
we just prayed for them.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh yes. Okay. So Rick was asking if the Egyptians had oat milk. And you know,
I've never seen an oat plant that could be milked.
Well, have you ever seen an almond either?
Actually, I have. No, I'm joking.
Right, I was going to say, no, they probably not. They probably most of it would have been, you know, actual dairy. But I don't. It's kind of like chocolate. Chocolate is something that it's a new food. They wouldn't have been exposed to it, but you know, if it's something,
let them try new things. They'll tell you if they like it or not.
Yeah. Remember, before the New Kingdom, they didn't have chickens either, because those were introduced from, you know, when you had pharaohs like Jehuti Moza, you know, also known as Tutmosis III, who went into the Levant and then as far as the northern Euphrates, they came back with new and exotic things that they didn't have before, like chickens. And so, you know, over time that got incorporated into, you know, daily life and also worship. Because by the time you get to, you know, the Greek magical papyri, sacrificing a pure white cockerel was a part of various spells.
Can you imagine? The first time somebody asked, what does it taste like? And they said, chicken.
It tastes like chicken.
I mean, can you imagine?
The first time somebody said it tastes like chicken.
I can't help but ask myself that question.
Oh, hey. Hi, it just happened to be where I could tune in. Oh, and I see you've got a kind of, I guess, is it cream color? Is that plain linen or? It's what? Okay. Hang on. I'm going to turn that up just a little bit because there we go. But yeah, another viewer just tuned in on the video chat, and she's got a very lovely cream colored hijab, And so I was just admiring that. So, yeah, and I noticed somebody said, "Oh my God, I just noticed the Ishtar shrine." Yeah. Actually, what's going on right now is this is the time of the Sumerian or the Mesopotamian New Year, and so our Sumerian pagan friends are celebrating the Akitu Festival, which actually takes place around each equinox. And so, yeah, this is Ishtar's Akitu house. I just put this up not too long ago, and I was actually going to ask if people mind if we, include her in occasional festivities, or if we want to keep it just strictly, Egyptian deities. So let me know what your thoughts are on that. But
thoughts are, because I'm interfaith and everything, I blend my pantheon and my deity work. Even though I have I work with a lot of Kemetic stuff, I do incorporate other stuff too, and aspects of various things. So I'm totally down for mixing and mingling.
Cool. Oh, and by the way, I caught that. Okay, yeah, and we've already had Daniel. I know you do a lot of stuff with like Canaanite, and other pantheons. So yeah, but yeah, you're Kemetic when you make lettuce jokes. I was noticing some lettuce jokes in the comments because somebody was saying, "I'm sure they milk lettuce," and somebody else said, "No, I'm sure that's just Horace's special sauce." And see, Darren gets
it. The joke wrote itself.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Well, let us move on.
Yeah, so let us move on. Yeah, so let's yes. Here, we'll say some prayers for hang on, I'm just adjusting. Okay, cool. The new phone and the controls on it are a lot more complicated. I'm just noticing different things about it. But anyway, we will say our hymn for Khonsu, because middle of this month is when you had a lot of spring festivals. So you had the birth of Khonsu, and you also had a festival of Renutet. So next week, what we'll be doing is honoring Min and Renutet, because they had, it's spring for us, but over there it would have been harvest season. And so, the funny thing is you end up having a lot of parallels. So, I figured we would do Khonsu this week and then the other two next week. So we're not like, slamming everyone together. IJK. I was going to say, what? There we are. Okay. So, give me just a second. I'm going to ring the system again. Khonsu Pacherd, ur tepi namen. Hunanefer benar merit. Nisur Nibu. Khonsu the child, very great. Firstborn of Amun, goodly youth, sweet of love, king of all children. Hian Khamazut, Ilhemuzut Miatum, Ilhemranep in Raim Waset. Babe born alive, who repeats birth like the sun disk, who repeats the renewal of Ra and Thebes. Hiem duao, Nakekim Mesher, Nuranepir Tepeteru, Im Shet, Im Kut Ketketef. Babe in the morning, old man in the evening, youth who renews at the proper times, who arrives as an infant after his old age. Hamesanasum wasetim shefi shopis, Ankim Kepref and Kapri. Whom Mut gave birth to in Thebes as the august child. The living one in his manifestations is Kepri. Ra hemeth in naskao, atum mesherin kentro manu. Ra, after he repeated births, a tomb in the evening within the entrance of Manu. Jafejin Ujat, Horoim Hunuranep, Kian Naman Ra, Nebkao Ash Jafel, Nebkiro Dien Meref. Iris of the Ujat, Horus as a young child, babe of Amun Ra, lord of food, plentiful of sustenance, lord of offerings who gives to those he loves. O Khonsu, as we honor you for your birthday, happy birthday, we ask you to look after those who have joined us, because spring means transitions, and a lot of us are going through transitions right now. Some people are having a tough time. And as a God of peace and wellness and the simple joys of childhood, could you lend some of that peace and help us to find some simple joys so that we can feel renewed with the springtime and that we can see things in their proper time, as you do, as you mark the phases of the moon. Hail unto you, O Khonsu. And Tauret. Dua Tauret, Nacherita, Dua Tauret, Oret Hechel. Hail, O Tauret, great goddess. Hail, O Tauret, great of magic. You are the protector of mothers and children. You protected queens and crown princes. You protected the most humble of women and their children since the days of the pharaohs. Please look after our dear friend Sarana, who's expecting any minute now, any day now. Well, we hope that it doesn't happen like right after service or something, but if it does, then may it be a quick and easy delivery, and may it be a healthy child, and may they have a good life ahead of them, and, you know, a good bond between mom and child. We ask you, O Tauret, for your blessings. And for all those who have children, and I think we had some folks who were hoping to have children, we ask Tauret to bring her blessings upon them. And, you know, for all of our friends that have children, Darren and I don't have any, but we have friends that do. And some of them have just had birthdays lately, and, you know, we hope that they will all flourish and do well. So we ask for your blessings, oh great lady, because that's what Tauret means, great lady. Okay. Check out first tattoo. Oh, neat. It's Melos just got a tattoo of Anubis. Cool. And yeah. For casual, there's no poop goes with it. Yeah. Well, I like to think of I think there should be something where you can be like an eco godparent to somebody and say, well, I'm not having children, but that means that I'm making room, you know, I'm giving slack for, you know, a friend that does have children, you know, because I think that's a more friendly way to, you know, say, well, you know, no, I'm not having kids. And well, I'm helping them. So, you know, I'm their eco godparent. But in order for it to work, you know, we need a lower ratio of, like, you know, eco parent to actual parent. But yeah, that's just a thought I had. And if anybody's got any other prayer requests or requests for divinations, let me know. We'll get those going. And do you need some more cooling waters?
No.
No.
I need some coffee.
Okay.
I'll have a divination.
Alrighty. Okay. Let's make a little room here. Okay, and yeah, I see some fortune cookie icons. And yes, yeah, I believe roosters were associated with Ra after they were introduced to Egypt. So, and yeah, hard finding a Set statue. Yeah, it's hard to find good statues of Set. And I've seen a lot of them that really weren't, they didn't really strike my fancy. So I actually sculpted something of him. And I had been making icons of him, like little wood plaques, kind of like the one I have of Wajid over here. The trick is they stopped making the wood pieces that I used, and so I was having to hand cut stuff. And lumber issues right now are like really insane, and it's affecting everyone from my family members that build cabinets for new houses to me just trying to find little wood pieces for Etsy projects. So that's why I had to back off the Etsy stuff, because it's just getting so hard to find that. But if I get a chance to make more, Set would be very high on the list. So anyway, divination time. First one going to Seta, and then we'll get our ones with the cookie icon. Okay. Seta, diligence is the mother of good fortune. So I guess you have to build your luck. Diligence is the mother of good fortune. Okay, and now we got Blue Conlon and Daniel. Blue Conlon. Oh, so there you go too. Sooner or later, everybody gets to. So Blue Conlon. Your first one. Hard work without talent is a shame, but talent without hard work is a tragedy. Now, there's another part to this. Planning is the prelude to successful action. Now, let me read these two together here. Blue Conlon. Hard work without talent is a shame, but talent without hard work is a tragedy. Planning is the prelude to successful action.
In other words, you've got talent, you've got abilities, you've got things you want to do. Get off your butt and do it. A good plan is going to help you.
Yeah, make a plan and do it. Don't let those talents go to waste.
And don't think, well, I've planned, so therefore I've done it. Or worse, I've thought about it, so therefore I've done it. Thinking and doing are not the same thing, and they never have been, and they never will be.
Yeah, but that's a way of saying you've got some gifts.
Worse, what they're really telling you is we put some things in front of you. Why haven't you done it?
There you go. Okay, now Daniel was next. Today's profits are yesterday's good, well ripened. So it may not seem like you're getting a lot out of what you're doing right now, but you're laying the groundwork for future success. Right. Today's profits are yesterday's good, well ripened.
And if you're a Beast Wars fan, the seeds of the future lie buried in the past.
Well, I was actually thinking of something from G1. Time makes all things possible.
That too.
But otherwise, yeah, forgive our fan geek moment. But the point being, keep building, it's going to pay off. off. Just, you won't get there if you don't keep working. So, all right, that was our first two. Let's see. Okay, Sarana and Don Peligro, a prayer request and thanks for the abundant prosperity I have. Absolutely. Thanks to that, and I will include that. Renitet is going to be the lady of the hour next week, and she definitely is a patroness of abundance. But yes, and thank you, Oracle, for the link to the Discord server. But okay, Sarana and Sarcastic, and then Alejandro. So
you folks looking for new jobs and whatnot, Renitet is the one you want to ask.
Well, I will say this. I've also asked Osiris, and he was very helpful with that. But a lot of it depends on, just who are you close to, who do you gel with. Yeah. And a lot of deities had overlapping functions, so it really comes down to who are you comfortable working with. But yes, Renitet, Osiris, of course they had a connection too. But
they're both associated with the fields
and the grain, yeah. And Osiris had an aspect as the grain, and Renitet was the one who nourished it. So, okay, but let's see.
You could also, along that same vein, you could probably add Mean,
who also had a connection with Osiris. So, okay, Sarana. Land is always in the mind of the flying birds. Wow, that's very metaphorical, but the immediate sense I get is if you think about it, the birds are always thinking ahead. What are they thinking of? When they will eventually land. So be thinking ahead to things that you'll need. You've got what's going on now, but what's going to be important, especially considering you got a little one on the way. There might be some things you need to think ahead to. Land is always in the mind of the flying birds. Okay, so that was Sarana, and then Sarcastic.
No way.
Way. Is that 2 cookies in here? Is this different? Let's see. All right, that's interesting. This cookie, it kind of got smushed. It didn't get a fortune in it. But this one did. And it says, listen to everyone. Ideas come from everywhere. And there was another cookie that didn't have anything in it, which may also mean
you might listen to everyone and ideas come from everywhere, but don't forget yourself.
Make of it what you will.
Yeah. But yes. Keep your ears open because ideas are going to come from everywhere. Even the most unlikely places. Okay, and then Alejandro. Got both hands in our pockets. So we will look at this fortune. All happiness is in the mind. So Alejandro, all happiness is in the mind. Whatever the situation is that's going on right now, what makes, the mind is what makes it good. And unfortunately, I cannot remember that line, the actual quote from Paradise Lost, although one of my classmates had it as her senior quote. But it was something about, the mind's eye can make, a heaven of hell or a hell of heaven, something, to that effect. But, it was kind of going back to that thing about it's in the mind's eye. So, let's see. Okay, next, Imagination Bound. And Married Ra is going to have a divination from Hathor to help me find a pagan partner. Isn't there a pagan dating website or something? Well, I know there was Pagan Space back when MySpace was a thing. Those who remember that. There was Pagan Space, but I can't remember if they had done that or not.
I don't know.
Of course, I need to get from Christine what's the website for the link for Veritas, because maybe a bunch of pagans can invade Veritas and like make it into establish kind of a.
Who knows? The fees are reasonable. The fishing stock is good.
I just need to find the link to it. I have to get her the link for it, but because the whole thing is she wanted a dating site that was like come as you are. That's why she called it Veritas. Yeah. But either way, let's see. So Imagination Bound, then Married Ra, and then Kit Fox. So. So there's a Techno song about imagination by Jess, but that's I think you'd have to be a big fan of EDM to know who and what that is. Imagination Bound. Courage is the hallmark of the warrior. And I guess if I was going to add something to that, we think of courage as, riding out on the battlefield like a Valkyrie, but sometimes it's in more seemingly mundane places.
Sometimes courage is the ability to face what you see in the mirror.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes the courage comes.
It's not bigger than you. You can do it. They're telling you that.
Yes.
Some folks express courage just by getting up every day.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Courage doesn't have to take a special effects budget.
Well put. I like that. It doesn't take a special effects budget. Sometimes it's just rolling out of bed, but courage is the hallmark of the warrior.
Hear that, Michael Bay?
Don't get me started
no
on
vulgarities.
that.
No vulgarities.
Okay.
Sacred space.
Okay, yeah. And then Married Ra, and then Kit Fox. So Married Ra. Okay, if I can get it open. There we are. Married Ra. Beloved of Ra. Pick battles big enough to matter, small enough to win.
Wow! If that's not some of the best advice I've ever heard.
Pick battles big enough to matter, small enough to win. A little bit of advice that I get sometimes from the ether is, to worry about your immediate people and what's immediately around you that you can change. Don't worry about, the big social problems that people talk about. they're big problems because it's bigger than one person can fix. But if we all focus on what's immediately around us, there's a cumulative effect that we can't see, but the gods can see it. So that's why they're telling us, I think, pick battles big enough to matter, small enough to win. So take care of yourself and those around you. Now, I don't know what that's going to mean in terms of finding a pagan partner, but what it might mean is, don't worry about like trying to fix the pagan, scene where you are, because every all of us know something about the issues with the local scene. Just stick close to home, I guess. But hopefully that as you go along, that'll because sometimes we get told something and then it doesn't click into place until later, and then you're like, oh, that's what it meant. And that can be some of the best advice. Some of the best lessons are the ones that click later. But okay. Oh, yes. Okay, Kit Fox and Melos Gia. As well, I'll keep a list. Okay. Alrighty. So Kit Fox, Melos, and Oracle. Oh, wow. Kit Fox, that one just kind of jumped out. I think I've been saving that one for you. Kit Fox, to lower your stress level, get a cat.
I think that's a direct statement.
Pet therapy.
Yeah.
There was this system waking somewhere.
But you know what? Pets can really do a lot for us. I mean, you talk to the ducks and always feel a little better, right?
Oh, yeah. My babies drop my stress level all the time. Yeah. And when I had a dog to pet.
Okay, Melos and Oracle. So didn't your dad get goldfish after after your parents divorced?
Yep. He had a nice goldfish tank with a big angelfish and a couple of suckerfish. And
yeah, that was like his thing. That was his stress reducer, huh? Okay, so Melos and then Oracle. Okay, Melos. Learn from how people in the arts react to criticism. Now, if I might offer a little bit of, because I'm sure at first hearing that sounds like, what the heck. Somehow, and I have no clue how this happened, what got us turned on to this. Maybe it was because of that Netflix thing. Yeah. That documentary. There's a Netflix documentary on right now, and if you have Netflix, it's worth checking out. It's called "They'll Love Me When I'm Dead," and it's about Orson Welles. And it's
an amazing documentary.
Yeah, and about a movie that he had been working on for years, and it didn't get put together and finished and released until
like the last year.
2018.
Yeah, I mean.
Now keep in mind he died in 1985.
Right.
So. And so we kind of gone down this rabbit hole from that to watching there's lots of footage of him like on TV appearances and stuff, on YouTube, and so we've just been like, spending late nights watching, stuff of Orson Welles, and he has so many interesting stories. You're like, wow, So, and this is somebody who's been gone for 35 years. So, but it's also, you want to talk about somebody in the arts and somebody who really took other people's criticism tongue in cheek. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So,
and I must say, after watching him do the monologue I saw him do last night, that man can get into character as easily as he breathes.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And it was amazing to watch. I have to say, I think it's probably the best monologue I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Except for my own.
Yeah, but so that's, if there's somebody that you're a fan of or whatever, just yeah, you can, even if they're dead, you can still find them on YouTube. That's the cool thing. So, it's worth checking out, and definitely a way to learn from people in the arts and how they react to criticism. So, okay, and then Oracle. Okay, and Jory, that's got to be you. You want a divination hat or, let's see. Okay, and Aldwin. Okay, yeah. Oh goodness! And Kid Fox says, "I have 2 cats. They do not lower my stress levels; they raise them." Okay. Well, I can appreciate this from my brother's perspective because he has 3 tomcats.
Yeah.
They've been neutered, but they were neutered kind of late in life. And so one of them in particular he tends to act out and he tends to mark things up. Let's put it that way. And so, yeah. But at the same time, though, even though he's sitting there having to clean things up because of the cat, and the cat, ruined a couple of his posters because he whizzed on him and stuff like that. When he's at home and on the phone with me, every 5th sentence is, "I love my kitties."
Yeah, I love my kids.
I love my push cats. Yes,
yeah,
his push cats.
Excuse me.
Okay, yeah. I heard your phone going off.
Give him a Bast statuette.
Actually, I'm going to make a print of that little Bast poem that I wrote. About a cat's prayer. Because in all truth, I think he was the answer to a cat's prayer somewhere.
Yeah, he was.
He was the answer to Nip's prayers, I think.
He deserves lots of blessings. He really does.
Yeah, so I'm going to make something for him. And as soon as I design that poster, I'm also going to, and after service, I'm going to spray that wheel with silicone. So yeah, the squeaking you were hearing was a wheel that's going to get sprayed with silicone. Because I got some spray just today. But, yeah, so, yeah, our pets can be a lot of work, but, there are times when, and maybe what the fortune is saying is, look at how your cats, they're a lot of work, but they might, you might be overlooking some benefit that they give you.
Especially the unseen world's benefit.
Yeah. Mm. One of our cats is named Conifer. That's pretty cool. Let's see. I'm gonna eat the plants even if you spray. Do they eventually grow mostly out of the stubborn? I'm gonna eat the plants even if you spray me. Yeah, definitely if they're toms, get them neutered. That kind of that helps. But pure imagination. Let's see.
There's another way to help is a product called Feliway.
There's also this thing that you can get that's a plug-in. I was reading some kind of like a wiki answers or something, and then my brother went and he got this at PetSmart. But you plug it in like a Glade plug-in or something, but it releases these pheromones that help your cats calm down. And it actually, huh?
That's what Feliway is.
Okay, yeah. So, try that because it actually seemed to work for his, we called him Ghetto Garfield. The cat's name is actually Jasper. But imagine a slightly overweight mackerel tabby, who, is horribly spoiled and, gets an attitude. So, like Garfield. So, but yeah, that's my brother's cat. And the LOA actually chilled him out a little bit. So. But I'm just kind of checking to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay, I'll have a prayer for my best friend who's having a test tomorrow. Oh goodness, yeah. May Jehuti and Seshat inspire her. Oh dear, a cat named Set. Wow. There's a duck named Daisy. Cute. Feliway? Okay, so Devin, Cookie, and Oracle, let's see. Let me check. Let's see, because Oracle, I think, because we had gotten Melos and then one more. And no, there's no Vixen. There's none. If you want a reading, just ask. So let me just scroll back up here and make sure I know. All right, let's. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I see you've got a list here. Forgot to add that. Add this too. Yeah. Okay, Alduin. Okay, so let's see. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, we got Sarcastic, Married Raw, Kit, Pernichinu, that's Jory. Okay, Alduin and you. Okay. And Don Peligro, I think I missed you too. Okay, well, let's try and get those so we can get everybody. And then Vixen. We'll add Vixen to into the list. So, okay. Oracle, let's do yours, then Don Peligro. And we're about to run out of cookies here, but I've got a few more in the box. So, and we got enough to get through next week, hopefully. But, all right, Oracle, this one. I keep thinking that we've gotten. No, we hadn't. I guess so. Unless that one was yours, learn from how people in the arts react to criticism. But let's go ahead and do this one as well. So I don't want to miss anybody. And as for next week, I think what I'm going to do, because I noticed I've got some new folks who've been tuning in. If you want one for next week, after the service is over, just put that in the comments, and so I'll go and I'll be able to kind of pull and read for everybody next week, since I can't do it in real time. I'll be taping ahead of time. But Oracle, this is your day to call the shots, so you should. This is your day to call the shots, so you should. So be confident. And go for it. So, okay, next is Don Peligro. Don Peligro, your heavy desire only allows you to see what you are looking for. You may need to back off a little bit so that you can see more than just what you're honed in on, because you're going to miss something else important. And maybe even what you're actually looking for. The irony is sometimes we can be so concentrated that we actually, miss something that would help us. And this is one of those oddly specific things. Your heavy desire only allows you to see what you are looking for. So, okay, we got Sarcastic and Mary Fox. Okay, Jory, then Alduin. Okay, and Jory, I know you had asked to invoke Hathor, and would also want to know. And they both gave you a cookie, I guess. All right. Jory, here you go. This is the first one. And it says, to build a better world, start in your community. That's just like what we were saying about, start with the people around you. Don't go doom scrolling. I know folks sometimes do that, but don't go doom scrolling, because, you're not helping yourself, and you're also not paying attention to what's around you. Now, there's another one here. So they have a twofold message for you. In the second half of it, peace comes from within. Seek it from yourself. So there you go. Joria Peternecheru. Peace comes from within. Seek it from yourself. To build a better world, start in your community. So I know you've been, looking for someone. Start with yourself, and it will build outward from there. And now Alduin. Alduin, it's your turn. And hopefully I'm saying that right. Alduin, it says, living with a commitment to excellence shall take you far. So Alduin, you'll be able to go places, but living with a commitment to excellence, you're going to have to commit to do the best that you can, whatever it is, and you will go far. So don't sell yourself short. Living with a commitment to excellence shall take you far. And let's see. I just laid out the groundwork for the temple. Oh, nice. That's cool. I'm scrolling through some of the comments saying about like roosters being vicious to snakes. Roosters are vicious, period, but still. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, Peculiar Vixen. Yeah, and I think some folks had answered and said, no, now you're gonna get different answers from people, because there's some people who don't like mixing pantheons at all. And it's funny because I always thought I didn't want to be one of those pagans that had deities from a million different pantheons, but at the very least, Ishtar was known to the Egyptians. Because, coming from Mesopotamia, they, through the trade routes and There was Ramesses the Great had a princess in his harem who was Kassite Babylonian, and so she probably honored a form of Ishtar. So the Egyptians knew who she was. So yeah, it always helps when they had contact with each other. But yeah, there are people who worship a combination of, not only like Egyptian and Hellenistic, but like some other folks said, Egyptian and Norse, and if it works for you, then go for it. Actually, she's kind of in the background, but this postcard here is of a Buddhist deity named Kishimajin. And Kishimajin, her name means mother of demon children. In personality, she's almost a little bit like Sekhmet. And there's a story behind her, and she's also in the mandala that's behind Ra and the other deities. Her name's on there too, because the story goes that she had demon children, and she fed them by snatching children from a human village, feeding them to her children. And the mothers from the village complained to the Buddha and said, "Please help us. She's eating our children." So what the Buddha did was he got a hold of one of Kishimajin's children, and which one varies according to story. It could have been one of her 10 daughters or another one, but either way, he hid Kishimajin's child under a basket. Now the funny thing is, Kishimajin had many children, but she loved all of them equally. And so when one of them went missing, she went out of her mind. Where is my child? And went searching and searching, and finally, with much reluctance, she came to the Buddha and said, "All right, I need help. I can't find my child." And what the Buddha said was, "You felt this grief after missing one of your children. Imagine the grief of a mother who's lost her only child." And at that point, Kishimajin was overcome with remorse. And, then relief as the Buddha presented her back her child. And she, at that moment, converted and agreed to and vowed to protect people who follow Buddhism. And actually, my Japanese neighbor, Mama-chan, prayed to Kishimajin to protect her grandchildren, and actually had one of her grandchildren that had a kind of a narrow escape. He was playing with some friends, and apparently they took him and grabbed him by his arms and his legs and flung him into a pond. Didn't know it, but there was some piece of metal in the pond, and instead of it impaling him or something like that, it only caught his arm. And she was telling me about this and said, I think Kishimajin protected him and pushed him to the side so it wouldn't kill him, only hurt him. And so, I've had some experience, some observation with her, and so that's why she's also, on the altar, kind of in the background. I mean, like I said, in temperament, she kind of feels a little bit like Sekhmet. But that's another story. And Vixen, I know you had asked for a fortune. So, and I'm scrolling down, making sure I don't miss anything. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and Devin. Okay. So you gotta Devin and almost dead. Okay, get one anyway. All right. Oh goodness, Pernitcheru. So I confused you. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Pernitcheru, Eclectic Kemetic Temple. Yes, that's you, Jory. I read a couple for you. I'll read them again. Let me just make sure. And I know some folks, their phones are close to dying and all that. Let me try and wrap everybody up here. So Vixen, and then Devin, and Mitch. Let me get those real quick, because I think those are the last cookies. Yes, we have 3 cookies left in the basket right now. So let's go for Vixen. This one's yours. Vixen, ride the waves to success. I get the sense there's a lot of stuff going on. Just ride with it. It will turn out successful. Ride the waves to success. So Vixen, then let's see, it was Devin and Mitch. Yeah, Mitch Twitch. There we go. So Devin. Devin, your home is a pleasant place from which you draw happiness. And that may be advice of something good that you're doing to keep doing. Your home is a pleasant place from which you draw happiness. Don't lose sight of that. So that may be something you need to if you're having trouble in the future, just that's where you recharge. Your home, make it a place where you can recharge. And so that means our last one is for Mitch Twitch. And then after that, Jory, I'll reread yours to you. Mitch Twitch. A way out of a financial mess is discovered as if by magic. So if you're worried about money, the gods will provide. Don't sweat it too hard. Of course, don't try not to spend it all in one place, but take care of those bills. But a way out of a financial mess is discovered as if by magic. So just hang in there. Now, Parnechuru, yes, I said Jory because I knew that was you. And you had gotten 2 fortunes. And I'll reread them because they happen to be over here. You've gotten 2 fortunes because I asked Hathor and Osir and Tanu. And they said, to build a better community, to build a better world, start in your community. And the second one, peace comes from within. Seek it from yourself. So, and as I was saying, don't go doom scrolling. That won't do you any good. Start with your own community, your own friends, your own family. Start from within and work on yourself, and that light will spread outward. So that was their message to you. Peace comes from within. Well, guys, I think we've run a long time here. It's an hour and almost 20 minutes. I thank you all so much for hanging in there with me. And if you've got phones that are about to die, I understand. Hope you were able to get a fortune. We'll have some more for next week. But because we're not going to be live, it's going to be pre-recorded, and I'm going to set it to premiere at 8:30. So you can still tune in at our normal time. But go ahead and just comment like at the end of this video after we close it. And that way I can go back and I can look and say, okay, make my list for who needs, to draw a divination. I'll do it. Here it's just, you'll have to catch it, after the fact. But hopefully that means I can get more people, get more prayer requests in, and stuff like that. And you'll get to see things from a different angle. I was actually in the room last night sitting there figuring out where would be good places to put the camera so you can see more of the altar and more of the things that we do. So it'll be, something nice you'll get to make up for the fact that we won't actually be here, live and in person. So, but we'll be back the next week. So, the 15th and the 22nd we'll be back at our, and doing our usual thing. And Darren's on the phone with somebody, probably family member or something. So let's go ahead and wrap up. And if I missed anything for anybody, just let me know. And if we don't get it here, then next week definitely I'll do that as we're recording. And so here comes the sistrum again. Hail unto you, Atum. Hail unto you, Capri. You come into being upon the primeval hill. You shine forth upon the shrine of the phoenix in Unu. You breathe out Shu and Tefnut. May the giving of these offerings endure, as the name of Atum, foremost of the great Ennead, endures. May they endure as the name of Shu, Lord of Upper Menset in Unu, endures. As the name of as Tefnut, mistress of Lower Menset in Unu, endures. As the name of Geb at the earth's Ba endures. As the name of Nut in the shrine of Shenit in Unu endures. As the name of Osir, Kentiamentiu endures. As the name of Asa Tenecheru endures. As the name of Sutek in Nubet endures. As the name of Horus in Pei endures. As the name of Wajit in Dep endures. As the name of Jehuti in Khemenu endures. As the name of Ra and the Akhet endures likewise for eternity. You have come in peace, O Ra. You have come in peace, O Khonsu, O Tauret. You have come in peace, O Yunechiru. May you go forth in peace, O Ra. May you go forth in peace, O Khonsu, O Tauret, O Yunechiru, to every place your immortal cause wish to be. May you sail in joy in the Manjet bark, and rest content in the Sektet bark. And may you smile upon us, your humble servants. Okay, one more time. Oh, I'm trying to make sure I don't knock anything over with this big chair here. Let's see, which I haven't heard it yet. Oh, okay. Thank you. This just blew my mind. Cool. All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much. And Discord and comments on this video for next week's prayer. Yes. Thanks. Yes, a blessed week to everyone. Love and good tidings and all of those things ahead for everyone. Big hugs. We love you all, and looking forward to getting back together with you soon. In the meantime, you all take care. I'm just going to type this out here. Alrighty. Thank you guys for being here. We love you. See you soon.